My name is Riley Cross, and I learned early that some people are born into the spotlight and others are welded into the shadows. I grew up in Portland, inside the long, echoing corridors of Northwind Care Collective, the elder care system my parents owned. The halls smelled like eucalyptus disinfectant, humming with broken fluorescent lights. My father walked ahead of me, shaking hands, laughing loudly, a man who loved being admired. I followed behind. My older brother, Evan, didn't follow anyone. He glided through life. Perfect hair, perfect posture, the kind of presence that made people turn their heads without meaning to. My mother practically framed him in every doorway, every holiday picture, every conversation about the future of the Cross legacy. I appeared in the background of those photos, often blurry, often cropped, sometimes not visible at all. While Evan flew between robotics camps, leadership conferences, and sponsored youth programs, I stocked medication cabinets and helped residents video call their grandchildren. I was 13 when Dad first told his colleagues, "Riley? She's independent. Doesn't need much." Independent was a nice word for invisible. By the time I turned 18, the pattern was cemented. Evan left for Silicon Valley to polish his potential, as Mom said. They paid his rent, funded his projects, wrote glowing posts about him on social media. Meanwhile, the Northwind centers started cracking. Regulations tightened. Funding dropped. Staff quit. And every emergency, every inspection, every crisis landed on my phone. I held the power of attorney by the time I was 23. Signed at 3 a.m. while my mother coughed into her oxygen mask. "You're better with the serious things," she whispered. It wasn't affection. It was assignment. I didn't choose the role. I inherited the burden. It started small. My name quietly disappeared from internal emails, then from reports, then from inspection meetings. A new innovation initiative was announced. Something I only heard about because a nurse assumed I'd be presenting the data. I wasn't invited. The day everything snapped, I was in the storage basement reviewing emergency kits when my phone buzzed. A photo. Evan, standing in front of the Northwind headquarters sign, grinning like a man ready to step into his destiny. The caption from my mother read, "Northwind's future leader." Not family. Just Northwind's, as if I had never been part of it at all. That night, I entered the kitchen. Pans sizzling, my parents smiling. Not at me, but at Evan. Dad finally looked up, distracted. "Riley, you've done enough heavy lifting. It's time for Evan to take over the bigger responsibilities." The words didn't break me. They confirmed everything. Later, I found a binder on the dining table. Financial projections in Evan's handwriting. Numbers wrong. Assumptions impossible. Risks catastrophic. Yet my parents had initialed every page. They'd already handed him the empire. They just forgot the empire didn't belong to them anymore. I sat down. The room was quiet. My breath was steady. And instead of grieving, I smiled. For the first time in my life, I saw a path that didn't include being ignored. I didn't seek revenge. I sought structure, like Dr. Harlow, Northwind's longtime legal advisor, told me when I showed up at his office before dawn. "You don't need to destroy anything," he said. "You just need to protect what you built." So I did. With attorney Mara Keene, we constructed something my parents couldn't comprehend if they tried. A non-profit that held. The compliance system, the operating protocols, the digital patient care framework, the partnerships, the license, rights, the research archives. All under my authority. All legally transferred during the years I had POA. All notarized. All valid. My parents signed the final papers assuming they were routine updates for insurance requirements. They didn't read the clauses. They never did. The legacy dinner was hosted at the Riverstone Hotel, a painfully elegant room filled with crystal glasses and investors. Evan wore a tailored navy suit, smiling like a man about to inherit a throne. My parents glowed beside him. Dad tapped his glass. "Tonight, we honor the future leader of Northwind, my son, Evan Cross." Applause filled the room. When it faded, I stood. No theatrics. No anger. Just presence. I placed 3 things on the table. 1. The facility master keys. 2. The expired power of attorney. 3. A midnight blue envelope addressed to Evan. He opened it. Read 2 sentences. Turned pale. Read the rest. His voice cracked. This can't be real. Dad snatched the papers. Mom read over his shoulder. Their faces collapsed. Mara stepped forward from her seat in the corner. Her voice was steady. All transfers were executed legally. With your signatures. The Northwind system belongs to the Foundation, not the buildings your son is inheriting. Evan whispered. So what do I have? Mara answered gently. 2 aging properties with outstanding debt. No operational rights. No authority over the Northwind system. The room fell silent. I finally spoke. You wanted the spotlight. You can have it. But the work, the real work, was never yours. And then I walked away. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt free. My parents spent weeks trying to untangle the financial mess. Evan tried to save face online, but none of it reached me. I moved into my small office overlooking the Willamette River and started rebuilding Northwind properly, with staff who respected me and a system that finally belonged to someone who understood it. One morning, I saw my parents in a Medicaid waiting room. They didn't notice me. A month later, I passed Evan pushing a wheelchair in one of the assisted centers, his posture quiet, humbled. I kept walking. No gloating. No grief. Just release. Some stories end with revenge. Mine ended with boundaries. Silent, steady, unshakable. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is nothing.